Welcome to the Carriker Chronicles, the people show, checking the pulse of a not so thrilled Husker Nation, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you by DPS Concrete Construction. Check them out at dpsconstruction.net. This is probably my least favorite gut reaction I've ever done. From tough losses to close losses to blowout losses to unfortunate news. Obviously the positive, the wins that we've had over the years from time to time, and the positives that we've had. This is my least favorite gut reaction I think I've ever done. This is my gut reaction to Trev Alberts taking the job at Texas A&M to be their athletic director. This is really tough for me because I in particular had a great relationship with Trev, and it just makes it even tougher for me. I'm not going to say negative things about him. I'm going to openly talk about how I'm incredibly surprised. Everybody, even people closest to Trev, are surprised by this. And I am disappointed. I mean, this is not something anybody saw coming. This is incredibly disappointing. And part of it is Husker sports was on the rise and doing so good under his watch, which makes it even more devastating. He's one of the greatest players to ever come through here, makes it more devastating. There's a lot of reasons this makes it a lot tougher, not just for me, but for Husker Nation. But before we dive into that, I got a whole bunch of tweets. I got a whole bunch of texts today. I got some things I'm going to read, and I'm going to be honest, they're a bit discombobulated. That's what a gut reaction is all about, right? A lot more raw. Okay, this was from @HuskGuys. There is absolutely nothing else on earth like the daily soap opera of Husker athletics. College athletics, but Husker athletics. Just a constant stream of shocking news and revolving door of head coaches, athletic directors, presidents, and chancellors. The only consistent thing is the fans. Just complete and total unwavering support for the program we love. If you agree with that, smash the like button now. At a certain point in this video, I'm going to talk about, probably towards the end, I'm going to talk about what we're looking for in the future, whether it be future coaches, our next athletic director, president. For me, and if you agree with this, I want someone who wants to get in the foxhole with us. And I'm not saying anything negative about anyone in the past. Everybody else can say whatever. That's fine. Okay. I want someone who wants to be in the foxhole with us. I want someone who wants to be in the trenches with us. I want someone who wants to get down in the dirt and the muck and just fight, scratch, and claw to get Husker football, Husker sports back to where they need to be, to where they should be as an overall whole to begin with. Not a shot at the past, not what this is about, as disappointing and tough and as unexcited as I am to do this video. Just want to be clear on all that. So speculation as to why. Why is this happening? Okay. Here are 5 things that kind of occurred to me. 5 potential reasons. Okay. In no particular order. The unsettled search for Ted Carter's replacement, our next president. This has been going on a long time. And I watched a recent interview with Trev where he talked about the challenges and he talked about how difficult it is. Like, there's a lack of overarching leadership right now. And you can blame Trev, you can blame whoever you want. Ted's at Ohio State. Now Trev is going to A&M. At some point, there's something going on with the leadership that needs to be addressed as an overall whole. Okay, that's number 1. Okay, easier access to large donor dollars in Texas. Easier access to NIL dollars at Texas A&M. Okay, salary and benefits at Texas A&M that are greater than NU. Okay, now all those 3 things, there's a difference between Texas A&M and Nebraska, but to me it's not gargantuan. I don't think it's earth-shattering. I'm not convinced at this moment in time with the information I have that the money is the difference maker. But those are things that were talked about between me and other people today. There were things that were brought up. There are things that you can't just ignore. Nebraska has money. Nebraska has NIL money. Nebraska has donors. Nebraska has certain things. Maybe you got the oil money down in Texas. Maybe you got a few things where they got an edge. But for a guy to leave his alma mater, a guy to leave the place where he's an all-time great and beloved, to me, I think personally there's more to it. I think there's leadership things that need to be addressed. Why it's taken so long to get a new president is beyond me. The unsettled search for Ted Carter's replacement, as I said a minute ago. Okay. Now, the uncertainty involving the women's basketball lawsuit and how a potential future boss may react to it. And that's something that probably needs to be pointed out and brought up, which is why I did it. Okay, so those are 5 potential factors that are a part of this. All right, and one individual texted me, and I'll just read it. He said, let's say you work for a company, it hasn't had a boss for 7 months. You become unsure of the future of the company and tell the owner of the company to hire a boss soon, or you'll have to go somewhere more stable. Now that's a message that was sent to me, okay? Let's see. For me, A&M is not an Alabama. No disrespect, but they're not an Alabama, a Georgia, or something like that, where you're like, hey, those are the top of college football right now. To me, this is more of a lateral move, and some of the things I pointed out earlier, maybe A&M has the advantage, but it's not gargantuan in my opinion. Okay. I do think that there has been maybe some complaints along the way about spending $500 million, close to, okay, on some of the football projects that are going on. And in the process, I think there's been challenges as far as trying to do maybe more than one job at a time. When it comes to Trev, I think there's been frustrations from people towards him. And then we're taking seats away as well. And if the Nebraska football program is doing well, I don't think we're ever going to have a problem filling up a stadium. Okay. Let me look through here, see what more notes I've got. I mean, when you look at the money, all right, Trev is currently making $1.7 million a year. He doubled his salary, okay, to increase from $800,000 up to $1.7 million. In 2026, it would raise to $2.1 million at what I think many had assumed was his dream job. Okay, that was just 120 days ago. It's crazy to think what has happened in the meantime. Okay, now I'm personally trying to remember something that's a bigger shocker, a bigger surprise than something like this. I think people were surprised when Mike Riley was hired. I don't know if that's of this level. Frank Solich being fired may be something that's kind of on this level, but it's hard to think of something along these lines. And it's funny, when I heard the news, I was having such a great day. I really was. I was having such a phenomenal day. You know, and I'd been talking on shows recently about how Nebraska sports is doing so well. I posted it on social media. It was like it was just too good to be true. I mean, like, seriously. Okay. Now, I do think it's time for someone to kind of take the reins and take the leadership role a little bit more and figure certain things out. I'm looking at a picture here, and I'm going to show you the picture. Sean Callahan tweeted this. November 28th, 2022, 15 and a half months ago, not even a year and a half. Okay, I hope you can see that picture. 3 of those 4 guys are no longer here. That's crazy. Something needs to be addressed. Something needs to be improved. Okay, and I hate to even bring this up. Sometimes by just bringing things up, you can speak things into existence, but I'm not going to be the only one to think of this, for sure. Matt Rule came here in large part because of Trev Alberts and Ted Carter. Matt Rule, I firmly believe, he had a rough year 1. Okay, but I firmly believe he's had a really good offseason. And I firmly believe he's going to do some really good things in year 2 and year 3, just like he's done everywhere else he's gone. We need stability here. We need to find a way to create stability for the people who are here, for the people we want to come here in the future. Okay, whether it's Matt Rule, whether it's somebody else who's coaching in another sport who's doing really good. Okay, Matt Rule's the first guy who comes to mind. All right. It was actually a little cleaner than I thought it would be. I did skip over a bunch of notes and pictures and text. When you're trying to talk and sound coherent, those letters get really, really small. But you got the gist of kind of what I was looking at, what I was thinking here. This is incredibly disappointing. I got nothing but love for my friend, but it's hard for me. It really is. And we got to figure out things going forward in the future. That's on the leadership. All right, I got some questions for you fine folks at home. Let me know in the comments below. As always, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Okay. Candidates for the next AD here at the University of Nebraska. I had an individual, and I'll say his name, Scott Strunk. He owns Husker Hounds. Phenomenal dude. Go check out his store. Free shout out for no reason other than I just love the guy. Okay. He goes, Cook for our next AD. And I'm like, Cook? Who? And then it clicks. John Cook. I was like, whoa, like mind blown. I was still processing the news, and boom. What do you guys and gals, everyone at home, what do you think about John Cook potentially being the next AD here at Nebraska? Full-time, interim, whatever the case may be. I don't want him to stop coaching volleyball, whatever he does, but all right. What about another name? Who are some of the other names that come to mind when you think about the next AD here at the University of Nebraska? Adam Carriker? I don't know, just throwing it out there. All right. And I got to ask, do you blame Alberts for his departure? Do you blame leadership? Is it a combination? Is it something I haven't mentioned? There was 5 main reasons I kind of gave earlier on in this video. Which of those 5 reasons stick out to you the most? I think it revolves around uncertainty, because Alberts is now going to be one of the top paid ADs in the SEC and one of the top 10 in the entire country. That being said, the top AD in the entire country is currently only making about $500,000. I don't want to say only, that's a lot of money. But relatively speaking, only $500,000 more than what's currently being made. All right, until next time, Husker Nation. I look forward to more positive gut reactions. I look forward to talking about our next AD and being excited and being elated. I look forward to talking about more positive things throughout this offseason with Matt Rule. I look forward to Nebraska basketball, which is what we should be talking about. The men's, the women's teams in the NCAA tournament, the wrestling team, which is number 3 in the country. You got the indoor track, men's and women's teams, which both just finished in the top 25 as they finished their season competing at nationals up in Boston. That's what we should be talking about. That's what I want to talk about. Stay tuned in the future. Go big, Red Nose. Remember to throw the bow. If you're a diesel mechanic, CDL driver, or concrete finisher looking for work in the Omaha metro area, DPS Construction is the employer for you. If you're a general contractor, building owner, or property manager looking for concrete repair or work done in the Omaha metro area, such as street paving, building floors, and parking lots, check out dpsconstruction.net.